Hey guys, one sec. I can't show video today because I got major burns on Monday, so I'm recovering. Just sun, but bad sun.
Sunburn?
Yeah, I was paddling and we got like to this far into this lake and the wind was so strong. It took us like 4 hours of paddling against it back, and I just did not have enough sunblock on for that long of a paddle.
Oh no. We were on Hall's Pond, and it took us quite a while to get to the other end, and it took us about 15 minutes to get back without paddling.
Yep.
For 7 or 8 years, it took me every spring, I would get a terrible case of sunburn on my bald spot.
Oh, no.
And I finally have learned that, I do have a bald spot in the back of my head. I need to wear a hat if I'm going to be outside.
No. Oh, man. Okay. Cool. And I think there's a number of people can't be on today, had meeting conflicts. So is there any additions that anybody wanted to add to their usual list of stuff? Okay, cool. Gary, do you want to give an update on emergency management stuff?
Not much new, except literally a half hour ago, I got a complaint from someone who said that the auction house down there at the Four Corners, apparently on Friday night, the individual said he went in and they had 125 people in there, not a single mass crowded in there.
Oh.
So I got to follow up on that. Other than that, I have nothing new.
Okay. I don't see any of the other guys. So communications, I don't really think I have anything. I haven't really made too many updates to the website. I haven't seen too much stuff come through. I have been I know Aaron and a few other community members in general and myself have been trying to add as much to the Bradford Facebook group as possible, and I've been trying to forward anything to this group that people have been sending for broader stuff. So hopefully I'm not sending you too much stuff, but the calls with Peter Welch and some of the stuff from Linda Anderson, I think it's been important. So yeah, I guess, does anybody have any questions on communication stuff at all, or ideas of stuff that might be missing that we should do? Okay. Cool. As far as volunteer coordination goes, we skipped our Friday call. It was a holiday weekend, so I told everybody to not come on Zoom. So we'll pick up this week. I did get a list from Sarah for people 60 plus, but it's I asked her for an Excel, the PDF. It's going to be really hard for me to pass on, but as soon as we have that, we'll start the calls to everybody. I don't know, Aaron, is there anything I'm missing for volunteer stuff? I don't really think so. Yeah, okay. Let's see, Ryan, town government stuff?
Not a lot from town and government. We'll have our select board meeting tomorrow night via Zoom at 6:30. To add on to the communications piece, we have EC fiber on the agenda, trying to bring that to Bradford, so that'll be interesting. But other than that, I don't think there's any other exciting news.
Cool. Ted, do you have anything to add?
Not really. It's just interesting. Gary mentions the complaint he received about the auction barn. I received a complaint about the Bear Ridge Speedway. Apparently they were doing practice runs, one car at a time, but people in the pits, I was told, were all congregating. Nobody was wearing masks and whatnot. So that's a complaint that we got, but really we've got nothing else I'm aware of anyway regarding town government.
Okay, cool. And Ted, after this meeting, I'm going to send you, hopefully it's not too late, but I know Bradford Resilience is a standing item on the select board meeting for a little while. So just things I know Marcy had submitted an application. So if you don't have that, I would resend it to just get her appointed. And then Carol Taylor wasn't appointed, but I don't actually have a copy of her application. And then just little things that we did about trying to do a bank account, and we have a draft of bylaws that we should have done after this call. Little things like that. So I'll just send you a list. But.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Just send it to me. That's fine.
Cool. Thank you. Let's see. And Sarah is on. She wasn't sure she would be able to make it. She's on a house call right now. But if anybody, she just said if anybody has anything they have questions about or anything, just don't hesitate to email her. Food access, Ashleen?
Hi, yeah. I hope my connection's okay. I'm in Corinth still.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So the only, or a little bit of additional feedback that we've been getting is that there's some serious concern about child hunger because it looks like nationwide that's definitely increasing. I know we have a really great system of delivering food to children, but in general, it's been a big burden on families. So there is some additional food support that I'm learning about called PEBT, which is pandemic EBT money, and that is for households with children. It should be about $387 per child that people can receive. I'm working on getting that information out to the community and families. So far, at Little Rivers, at least, our care coordinators have the information, but kind of getting that out to the general public. That's something we could post on the Bradford Facebook, maybe.
Yeah, totally, in the listserv. And if you send me a copy, actually, and I can send it to or you can just send it to this whole group too, if you want.
Sure. And otherwise on food, we did a big thank you to Hannaford and Ryan. We actually came up with a problem that we hadn't anticipated, and that's that we didn't have enough bags to distribute food that was coming to our clinics from willing hands. So we reached out to Hannaford, and they're going to donate a few reusable bags, which is awesome. I guess they're also struggling with getting bags right now, which is sort of sad environmentally, but also we need them right now. So that's good. We really appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks, Ashleen. Ryan, did you have anything to add from the store? Is there any?
Yeah. The plastic bag thing, we had to ban the use of reusable bags because we didn't want people bringing those in from their homes and spreading germs and stuff. So unfortunately, that skyrocketed the use of plastic bags, and our supplier cannot keep up with all our stores. But we will have to use a lot of paper, so that would be good. Because of the disruption in the meat processing chain, we're seeing a lot of increased prices on red meat in particular, as we have to source from smaller plants since Purdue and Smithfield had to shut down a lot of theirs. That does drive the cost up a bunch. So I think meat prices are going to continue to rise, especially on red meat, unfortunately.
Cool. Thank you. Let's go to medical. I don't see Ayla, but Ashleen or Michael, did you have updates?
Mike, do you have anything in particular?
I don't have anything in particular in terms of medical. Sorry, dogs. Just wanted to share behavioral health world kind of information that we're seeing a spike in the area of suicide attempts. That's across the country, but anecdotally, I've seen an uptick, not huge in numbers, but more than on an average year. So just something to be aware of as part of our community outreach stuff.
And on the medical side of things, I think Ayla might be able to speak more to this, but we are working on a reemergence plan. So East Corinth is open at this time, only 2 days a week though, I think, and they're still really encouraging televisits. And then for testing, I know there have been rumors out there about whether or not we're doing the antibody tests or the asymptomatic tests. And right now we are not doing antibody tests, and I think we're holding off on asymptomatic testing because we're concerned that if there is a surge in nursing homes or places where we there will be one case and then we do need to test the whole staff because of working in like a congested environment, then we want to hold off on using up all our tests on asymptomatic. But I don't want to say for sure, but I think that we are testing people who come from out of state and then want to have a test so that they can find out if they need to quarantine for the full 2 weeks. But I think I would want to refer to Ayla for that.
Yeah, no problem. Can keep an eye out for her when she comes on.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you both. Kate, did you have anything you wanted to add, mental health wise?
No.
Okay.
We're still plugging along.
All right. Erin, business financial resources.
Nothing to report that I can think of at the moment.
Cool. Sarah, do you want to share a little bit about the Bradford Business Association newsletter?
Yeah, that's why I remembered to show up. So the Bradford Business Association has kind of started to put out a weekly newsletter on Fridays to just kind of, I don't know, get some information as to what's going on around town, what's reopening. We've been trying to get people to subscribe, and on Mondays I've been kind of sending out a call to action to businesses to see if there's anything they want to share. We're getting information, basically just kind of putting things together by bits and pieces. There's, kind of no rhyme or reason to our format at the moment, but we've had some really good feedback. And, if you have stuff to share, you can send it to myself or Jared Pendak, and I will put email addresses and the sign-up form in the chat for people. And most importantly, you have to add the Bradford Business Association at gmail.com to your contacts, or it's going to end up in spam.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah. It's been really good.
Great. We're hoping to do a little kind of a daybreak type thing, just to get people centered around where we are, where we live, and it's good.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah. Let's see. Carol Freeman, support for seniors.
Have anything new either. I don't know if Mary Ann does. I saw her. You're on the
Yeah, she's on here. Yep.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll just say, the Council on Aging is working on a re-emergence plan as well, I guess, for our office in Barrie, and we do have offices in other locations too. Slowly, I don't think all staff will be going back. I keep asking about services for seniors, home visits for seniors, adult days, and congregate meals, when any of that might be addressed. And the only word I get is it's not even on the agenda yet. So I think it's going to be a continued long haul for people in those risk categories without services that they've been having. So we're here to help them as we can, but I don't know when we'll be seeing them again, which is sad. But that's the only update I have.
Okay, thanks, Marianne. And actually, that reminds me, Sarah gave me kind of like a sample script to use for volunteers to use when calling people 60 plus in the area. If there's anything you want, if there's like a line you want us to add, or like give them your number, or just a reminder that the Council on Aging is there as a resource or something, we can definitely do that.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Let's see, schools, Bruce. Oh, muted.
Yeah, I have nothing new on the food production and distribution. We are intending to continue on through the summer, at least give or take to about August 15th. Those folks, in my view, they need a break. So we will probably discontinue from August 15th to the beginning of school. But right now we're producing about 1,500 meals a day, 750 families or children being served. So, and that's just Bradford, Newberry, and Thetford. Waits River and Blue Mountain have similar operations going. So that's all good. We think, it's sustainable through the summer. Danielle's here. She can comment on the political calendar, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Bruce.
Hi. So I've tried to put out sort of information in different places about what the basic calendar looks like. We are looking for board members. We are hoping that the article will pass to allow us to move the board from 4 members to 6 members. Even if it doesn't pass, there's 2 new board members or 2 members that need to get elected. So Angela and Tim are both running for re-election, but also obviously anybody can run for those seats. And then we're hoping to have 2 additional seats that we would be electing people for. Those consent forms you need to get from the either the links that I sent out. There's a link to it on the OESU website under the OUUSD board information. Obviously, the town clerks can get you that form. There is no need to collect signatures. It's really just saying that you intend to be on the board and want your name listed on the ballot. Those need to be in by June 8th in order to get your name on the ballot. And then after that, we're hoping that the letter from us and from the district as far as a budget summary an update will be going out. The goal is by June 8th as well, so that packet will go out and reach the voting population prior to them getting their ballots. The ballots should be mailed out no later than the 15th of June. They have to be mailed out more than 15 days, so prior to the actual vote. Then the informational meeting is going to be on the 23rd, and then the vote is on the 30th.
Awesome. Thanks, Danielle.
Yes. Any questions, obviously feel free to email me. If you hear people talking about it, they're not sure what the information is, anything you guys can provide me as far as feedback. We are looking at, Sarah had suggested doing something similar to Fairleigh. Rivendell had put out sort of an email format with like frequently asked questions about their budget, which was a great format. We thought it really looked good. So we're strategizing about how to sort of come up with something like that for our district. So we're definitely churning, trying to figure out how to get information out there. So hopefully we'll keep working at it.
Cool. And then how do people find out about the June 23rd info meeting?
So that will be warned, and it will be part of all of the communications that go home. So it's
okay, cool.
It's part of the warning. It's part of the packet that will go out. So, and then obviously it will be a warned meeting for us, so it will be posted in all the warned locations as well. But certainly, yes, we need to make sure that that's getting out there to people as well.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
I know Gail's not on, but she just wanted me to share there's no really changes there. She's doing curbside, and it sounded like she had a program going on today, so maybe they're doing some Zoom programming. Nancy, did you want to share anything from a mentoring program?
I would like to just get some advice. We have not had mentors and mentees in face-to-face contact since this began, and we're not sure if we should allow it or not. One of the guidance is anybody over 65 should not be person-to-person contacting with their mentees yet. And then those under 65 can have contact as long as they're not riding in a car together and as long as they're both wearing a mask. And I'm not sure how safe even that is. So I'd really like to have some advice on that from those of you who are more in the know than I am. Gary, do you have any advice?
Well, how to get them together if they're over 65?
Well, I don't think we can yet. I just think it's too risky. But what about the one, we do have some mentors who are under 65. And I'm not sure if they should begin person-to-person contact yet or not.
Well, I think they could have some person-to-person contact by, my suggestion would be not to be in the same vehicle that close, but if it's possible for them to go and meet with the person where they live, where they could be outside and keep some sort of distance, but that would allow them to reestablish that face-to-face contact that I think is so important.
Yeah, it's beginning to be very, very stressful, and it's as they were.
Most of what?
Yeah, you broke up.
I just lost my speaker.
Yeah. I know, Nancy, I have been visiting some older friends who have really serious health problems, but having them meet outside where we could stay far apart, and they seem to appreciate that personal contact and at least be able to look you in the eye.
Yeah.
That's something you could do with some of the mentees, I believe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Carol Taylor, anything from the churches?
No, nothing new. We had a meeting, but nothing was resolved from it. We have another meeting on June 3rd, so there'll be more discussion on the church's opening.
Okay, thanks. Marcy, anything on housing?
I don't have anything, and I have been in touch with Ramsey. She has a homeless person, or someone without I guess she's a homeless person. And what I can tell you is it's really hard to find tenants and then to show tenants property now. I basically have to wait until people move out, and then I can show it to people, but I can't go with them.
All right.
And so it's very difficult. I have one tenant who wants to move, but they can't move because they can't look at any apartments. And Ramsey has a problem where she has an apartment for somebody, but it won't be ready. And she wanted to go into my vacant apartment because she couldn't find anything else. And she ended up having to put them up at a hotel. And so the housing situation for renters is really challenging. And I imagine for people that are trying to buy and sell property, it's equally difficult because you basically have to have a vacant structure. And so that's the only update I have. I don't have anything else. I can tell you personally, I'm getting my rent paid. But other than that, it's like with everything else, all businesses are just dramatically impacted by this whole thing.
Thanks, Marcy. Let's see. I'm just gonna. I'll just put him in the minutes after. As far as transportation update from Mike, he just wrote me a few paragraphs, but the essence is that they're trying to get back to normal. They're starting to do that process of getting back to normal. Who knows how long that takes, but and they said, but in addition, they still have more than enough volunteers to do like direct rides if people need them to the store and that kind of stuff. So basically, if anybody or any business has needs for rides or knows of employees that need rides, just reach out. Thanks for the music, Gary. Let's see. Actually, so I know, Patty, did you have anything from the bank that you wanted to share?
Hi. Yep. We just found out yesterday afternoon that we are going to be opening our lobbies next Monday. So that will be interesting. We have signs that we're asking people to wear face masks, but we are not requiring them to, but we are encouraging them to, and we will have them available if they don't have their own. But we'll be back to normal with our lobbies open the same hours that they used to be, starting Monday. So hopefully that goes well.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Ayla, did you have anything? Ashleen, so Ashleen and Mike gave some updates about food and kind of the mental health side of things, but not as much about the clinics. But we're hoping you might have those, like about testing.
Yeah, as far as specifics, not a lot has changed in the last week. We're still kind of holding steady as far as the numbers of tests that we're doing, and still a little bit on limited supply. So the triaging is still in place. We are opening up the clinic a little bit more, expanding visits, but nothing's really changed as far as the testing.
Okay, cool. I guess that's it. Does anybody else have...
Sorry, real quick. Ayla, can you speak towards the testing about like asymptomatic testing, and what are the parameters that we have around that? And are we even doing it at all, or are we saving it for groups like aging facilities?
Yeah, sure. No, I think I spoke about that the last couple of weeks, and it hasn't changed a whole lot. So we are encouraged to do asymptomatic testing. So meaning, patients that we believe to be particularly high risk, not just facility workers, healthcare workers, but patients that might have, comorbidities that put them at a higher risk. We're going ahead and testing them if we believe it's indicated, again after triaging with their PCP or their primaries at the clinic. So yeah, a little bit more expanded testing, I think, and it'll continue to be so over the next couple of weeks. Where we're at right now is we just haven't opened up freely to say, hey, everybody come on through like a drive-through testing site that other places are able to do right now, and that's strictly because of our availability of resources with testing equipment. So a step below that, pretty much we are people that are interested in being tested. There's a lot of support for that right now. Does that answer? Yeah.
Good. Thanks,
Sure.
Anything anybody else has? Brian, did you have anything about youth sports or anything? Is Little League moving? No.
There's no real update. It's kind of a holding pattern, trying to figure out, because it's multi-state. It'll be a question of what the governors decide. I do know that some of the travel teams are going to be starting up here fairly soon, but in terms of like hours, and I know we're going to send out stuff for soccer in the fall, hoping that's going to happen.
Okay, thank you. So I guess unless anybody has anything else, we'll just move into the formal pieces. We have minutes for the first time to approve, and then we're reviewing the bylaw draft. So I think that's what we have for today. So welcome to stay, or you can head out. Thanks, everyone. Cool. So give everybody a second to drop off if they're not. Okay, cool. So again, sorry for the last minute. I wanted to get it to you sooner. It just did not happen. But Erin, between Erin and Ashleen and I think we got your minutes to you. So I don't know, I can bring those up on the screen. I don't know if anybody had any questions about them or if people are ready to vote on those, but we can just give it a few minutes. Share my screen.
Yeah, this is Nancy. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I want to correct something that I was misunderstood about the approval of the minutes. And the minutes have to be approved by the group and then sent to the treasurer. And then the request for payments gets sent to the select board for the select board to approve. And it sounds like the way this is written, it sounds like the expenses have to be approved by the select board in the wrong order.
Okay, we can fix that. I don't think it's wrong in the bylaws, so we can just fix it in the minutes. Unless you're saying it is wrong in the bylaws.
I haven't seen the bylaws.
Okay, we'll fix it in the minutes. Anything else anybody have in the minutes? I scrolled too fast trying to see what Nancy was talking about, but if people need them. Everybody's good. Just if anybody wants to approve, make a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Thanks, Brian. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, questions? Okay, all those in favor of approving the May 20th, 2020 minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, cool. And then the last thing was just the bylaws, and if we're not ready to go over these now, we can totally do it next time, but I basically, the red that we did last week, I just swapped it to blue and then put in actual sentences. So the first one is just adding the line, Bradford Resilience was created to be placed under the emergency management plan and to report to the emergency management director. Pretty good with that one?
Yep.
And then we added E to conduct related business as decided by the commission and approved by the select board. Stop me if you, I'm just gonna keep scrolling, but if anybody opposes anything or has questions, just stop me. Let's see, for organization and officers, we just added the sentence about a representative of the commission will attend a select board meetings when requested. And then we added a bit onto the secretary piece. The secretary will post draft minutes to the Bradford Resilience page of the town website within 5 calendar days of each meeting. Upon approval of minutes, the secretary will update the name of the file to denote approval and will send a copy to the town clerk to be added into record into the town vaults. And actually, you know, I'm basically like, while this is the duty of the secretary, I'm just popping the minutes all in the same like folder on Google Drive. So, and then we just have to get a copy to Sonia. So I'll work with you on that. And Aaron.
Okay. Yeah, because so Aaron's writing them and then sending them to us.
Yeah.
And then we'll post them into that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of using the royal we.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We can do it like the three of us can just have a quick Zoom or stay on after or something. I can show you where I'm putting everything.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, cool. We added just the word documentation instead of financial reports for the treasurer. This line we added kind of from the revolving loan information that Brian had shared. So a motion will only pass if it receives the votes of a majority of members of the Bradford Resilience attending a meeting where a quorum is present. This was that like, and actually I looked at a bunch of other like Vermont commissions and they all had that same meetings will recess until a time present or something, like a time to be certain, that none of them actually like define it. So I copied this from another select board or some kind of commission, more or less, but a commission may recess a public meeting if matters pertaining to it cannot be disposed of on the day set. No public notice shall be necessary to recess. However, continuation of the recessed meeting may only occur at a duly warned public meeting. Is that like okay?
I actually, I want to just kind of run a situation by you just because, so in the event that, let's say that there's a resilience meeting and there's something that needs to be done in some part of town, basically this says you can't recess that meeting, drive out there, take a look, and then reconvene your meeting without duly warning it for 24 hours. And that would be my only concern. Like, I know that on the select board, it was only one time, but we had a field trip. So, you know, so we basically recessed the meeting. We went down, we took a look at what we needed to, we came back and we reconvened the meeting. And you wouldn't be able to do that with this language.
Gotcha.
And on the, Monique, on the planning commission, the rule is that you can, like for hearings, you can recess to a date certain, date and time certain, informing those who are in the meeting about it. I think that's sort of what Brian's talking about. I think that's recognized as something that you're allowed to do.
Yeah, like literally all the other bylaws I found, it just said meetings may recess to a time and date certain, and that's like all they have. So I can, that's what we had originally. I could just put that back in if people.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what they do at the town meeting, right? If there's enough agenda stuff that they're going to take lunch, right? They just reconvene. You know, they say here's the time that you need to be back after lunch, right? We'll recess through lunch. Because I think the only instance where this is going to be an issue is if you're having a meeting and you're like, hey, we need to pop out to Low St. John Forest to do this, and we'll be back here in an hour to resume the meeting.
Great. So just more or less putting back the same language that was there. Does that work? Okay.
Monique, I had a question going back on the reappointment of officers. So I'm a little unclear on that, because is that saying that you can't, they're appointed for 1-year term?
Oh, this one.
And they can be reappointed, but then what about if they're not reappointed? I don't really understand the need for that. I'm not sure what that's about.
I mean,
I think that's just saying that you can continue to. There's no term limits, right?
Yeah.
Then I think it might be better just to say that, because it almost seems like whoever got appointed the first time, they just get reappointed. I mean, I'm not. All officers shall be appointed for a 1-year term, and I guess, and there is no term limit.
Right. I mean, I think it needs to be in there, but I don't know that we.
Okay, like a separate sentence, maybe. That's all. If that, okay, I guess I didn't really understand. It almost read to me like whoever's appointed now, that's who's going to be. They're going to be reappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it happens. I'm actually
right.
for term limits, but.
Sorry, Monique, this is an appointment for life.
I know. Just we had added upon vacancies and end of term. We just added those words in there. And then we added something at the end about no action may be taken at a meeting unless it is duly warned. And we just added this, instead of the usual time and dates definition, we just said regular meetings shall take place quarterly at a minimum under normal circumstances, and I added, i.e. not during a declared state of emergency. Meetings will take place at the Bradford Academy, 172 North Main, unless otherwise warned.
Hey, Monique, can you go back up one?
Yeah.
Should that say binding action?
Oh, okay. Yep.
Because you should still be able to take actions. It just may not be binding.
Yeah, that's true. I think if we did subcommittees, at least one member from this body would be on each committee, which the only thing we have right now is volunteering. A bunch of us are on it. So.
And we wanted that to be a member of the commission, not an officer, correct?
We did not stipulate officer, but I'm okay either. If people want to make it officer, that's totally fine too.
I mean, I just don't know how many committees there are going to be. You'd hate to have 4 officers have to be, you know, on 3 committees apiece or whatever. But I just want to make sure that you know, the differentiation between a committee member and an officer.
Yeah. What is it? Does anybody else have a feeling about that? Okay. I'll just leave a commission for right now. I think that was it. So does anybody have any adjustments to things we just went over, or like in general, anything additional from last time? Like, or what are people's comfort levels as far as like submitting this to the select board for their approval or review, at least?
I think it looks pretty good.
Okay, cool. So they just have a standing item on the select board meeting for Bradford Resilience. So I'm just gonna, this motions we made last time and then just reviewing these this time. I guess we probably want a vote, like a motion to approve our bylaws draft as is, to submit to the select board for review and their approval. And so just do it to the next select board, like tomorrow's select board meeting, since it's already warned technically.
Monique?
Yeah.
I didn't see in the bylaws about finances, about paying bills.
Under this treasurer piece, treasurer shall recommend actions on all bills received by the commission. Payment authorization for all bills should be voted on by the commission. The treasurer shall prepare and present a financial documentation, or I'll take out the word A, financial documentation at each meeting of the commission, and shall submit an annual financial statement to the chair.
Okay, it doesn't say anything about submitting to the town treasurer for approval by the select board.
Yeah, we can have that.
I'm not sure that matters, Nancy, because I mean, they do that for each one. So basically, so long as the commission authorizes the bills paid, then it should just go through its normal process, which is it gets approved here, it goes, the you know, the orders are approved through the select board, and then the select board directs the treasurer to pay them.
So does it say in these bylaws who submits the bills to the treasurer, to the town treasurer?
It doesn't say who submits bills to the town treasurer.
We could just add a line that says the commission will follow the standard, or the process, I don't know, the standard town process for submitting bills for approval or something. I don't know. Just in case that
The
changes.
bills have to be submitted to the treasurer in order to get on the warrant to go to the select board.
Right.
Right, and somebody has to be responsible for doing that.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Is it the treasurer, or is it the secretary, or is it the chair?
It's on the minutes. It's within the body of the minutes. It has to be approved through the and recorded in the minutes of a meeting. And
Right.
I don't know that we need
also have to submit a request for payment with receipts.
Yeah, and so I don't know that we need to re-outline the process that the town has in case the town like changes their process. Can we just say we'll follow the expected town, like the town expectations for submitting expenses for whatever? I don't know, whatever that sentence.
That sounds fine to me, but I just think that it needs to be spelled out that it's somebody's responsibility, that it's clear whose responsibility it is.
Well, but can we play that out, Nancy? So we have a bill for signs, right? For the yard signs.
Right.
So we're going to have that bill. Presumably, we're going to vote to approve that. the expense of those signs, right? That's going to be reflected in the minutes.
Right,
It
and the
doesn't.
treasurer also requires that you submit a request for payment with the receipt.
Right. But I guess what yeah, so the next step is that needs to be submitted to the treasurer. It doesn't matter who submits that, so long as some expectation is submitted. I could outline it in here, but
I think what you could say is in a manner that's acceptable to the town treasurer. And that would cover it.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think,
just make a separate bullet that doesn't really outline a specific.
but I'll just say the process that the planning commission uses is generally we approve specific bills, just like the conservation commission does within the minutes. But on occasion, we authorize someone to be able to approve a set of bills. And we put that in the minutes because we're going to be getting a bunch of bills about a particular thing, and we don't want to hold it up to wait for a meeting. So I think, something like this, you guys could authorize Monique to approve bills related to the signs. And there might be several different bills, and then she doesn't have to wait, and the town doesn't have to wait to pay them for a meeting. So you have to make the
it has been
flexible enough to accommodate. You have to make it flexible enough to accommodate different processes, like Brian's saying. It can't be like so narrowly. It's not a good idea to be narrow in the bylaws.
But it's been my experience that Jennifer will not pay a bill unless she receives a request for payment with either an invoice attached to it or a receipt attached to it. I don't know how the Planning Commission does it, but I know for many years that's been my experience with the Conservation Commission.
Right, so you can say in a process that's acceptable to the treasurer, letting the treasurer be
the town treasurer.
The town treasurer, letting the town treasurer set the protocol, the process to keep I guess what I'm trying to say is you should keep the process out of the bylaws.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Because that changes.
That sounds better.
yeah, because I mean, a lot of times this body is going to say, we authorize Monique to spend up to $300 on yard signs because she's going to go out and get some quotes and she's going to take the best one, and so that's in the minutes. And then when she gets that, she's just going to send it to the treasurer to pay the with the receipt or the invoice, right?
If that's acceptable to the town treasurer.
Yeah, does this work?
That works. Thank you.
Okay. Ben, are you good with this? Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. Any other changes? Questions? Cool. I don't think we had a motion yet to kind of to approve these bylaws and present them to the select board for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve the bylaws as written.
I'll second that.
Cool. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Cool. I think that's all we had. And then, yeah, does anybody have anything else?
I have one thing. I wanted to send to you, Monique, and I just didn't get around to it. I got emailed information that Vermont League of Cities and Towns is doing for open meeting laws, especially in light of us having to do them electronically. And so I just thought that might be helpful, especially to people that are on this commission that haven't had to deal with the somewhat awkward process of open meetings. And so I want to send that around for people.
Cool. Thanks, Marcy. That's a good idea. I know there's supposed to be a clause that I'm supposed to like say, I think too, that you started saying and that Ted.
And then I stopped,
says.
yes. But Ted keeps saying it, yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, anything else anybody has? Cool. Well, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Bye.
All right, bye.